What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the third album by American rapper Silkk the Shocker of No Limit Records. Basically, this product is called Made Man, and it came out in the winter of 1999. So basically, within the fare of it, Silkk the Shocker is a wingman of Master P as far as these fares can happen. It's been a little bit since I reviewed Master P. I'm going to get to some more of these type of products down the road as far as these pitches can happen, but I wanted to get to some more folks out of the No Limit lore pitches like that within these ordeals. This is another classic here to be able to say this right off the bat within these ordeals. This excellent type of appeal with some of these blistering typeness. Now, prior to this particular day here, I had not listened to Silkk the Shocker that terribly much in the past. I knew who he was within these aspects, but it's kind of the ordeal. As far as I've heard him on featured songs, pitches like that, but in terms of like the solo type material, not as much, but just the ordeal. As far as I wanted to definitely get around to this. This is it's definitely a pretty vicious aspect of an album here to get within these vicious type album to get within these aspects here. So the pitch behind it is Master P executive produces this album, but he's actually not particularly on this album as many full bound type times. His particular aesthetic, he really does. Master P mostly lets Silkk the Shocker kind of handle this particular fare of this album pretty well on his own within these pitches. Snoop Dogg's really not on here that much either as far as these pitches can happen. So the big names, Snoop Dogg, Mystical, Master P, these particular folks are really not on here as full bound. So this is a victory within the sense of saying that Silkk the Shocker nails these particular type of appeals without terribly much help from like some of the bigger names within these aspects. Now this was an album that hit #1 on the Billboard 100, pitches like that, went platinum, some of these type pitches, so it had the ordeal, had a couple singles within these aspects for these tones going to happen. Had a particular song that hit #1 on the rap charts as far as these pitch kind of goes. So just miss the aspects of just some excellent type fare as far as like a good wingman, just to say within the aspect of Master P within these ordeals. Now within the aspect as far as saying, now there are some other type folks within these pitches like C Murder, some of these type ones within these aspects. I know there's a string of these other folks that were on No Limit that were within some large name type appeal within these aspects. These are definitely going to happen down the road within the aspect behind it. I'm definitely going to get to more Silkk the Shocker as well, but it's kind of the pitch. So yeah, this is not only is this album a classic, but it nails it on the terms of being a larger album as well within these particular pitches behind it. So out of the 18 songs on this product, there's 17 I wound up recommending. So it's just a pitch as far as saying. So simple enough, 10 out of 10 being the fact that there's only one true song I don't recommend in any fashion. So it's just the pitch as far as getting towards it. But yeah, within the fashions behind it, there were more or less 3 singles. Now, particularly within the fare, there were at least 2 singles within these aspects. Somebody Like Me, which was the lead single, which made most of the chart appeal. That was the song that hit #1 in the rap charts. And then It Ain't My Fault Part 2, which was a sequel to the particular hit song that Silkk the Shocker dropped on earlier albums for as this pitch can happen. Now, both of those, within the pitch behind it, the Silkk the Shocker discography does not list Ain't My Fault Part 2 as much on like the charts of it, but Ghetto Rain was a single that also came out, and this apparently had a claymation music video. So within certain type fashions, these were the 3 singles off this album. So I'm going to talk about all 3 of these within those fashions, but it's at least within the full bound type appeal that Somebody Like Me was like the main single off this product. So Somebody Like Me, which features Maya, which is a pretty excellent type snag within these pitches. She was a pretty good R&B singer within pitches like that. Excellent type ordeals. Somebody Like Me is like a thug passion, like summer evening kind of malaise kind of get. It's wrapping up kind of some Muzak fare. It's kind of a Ryler flip as far as this pitch kind of go. This is sort of tone that Tupac probably needed to do within some of these type of aspects. Just a good type ordeal for these particular type moments as far as getting towards like the product is something to kind of listen to in like a thug life type fashion. Very much like that No Limit and Master P type vibe within pitch, and just something to kind of have like the aspect of just once things are kind of done for like the aspect of probably 5:36:15 pitches like that, some type of ordeals to just like the work shift kind of embrace. The post hour kind of work shift kind of just got done with things as far as those pitches can happen. Just the aspect as far as figuring out the next move, but kind of in a more pop rap type grab within the pitch as far as those pitches can go. So just good radio jingle for that sort of stuff. Basically the same way that like the post grunge and alternative metal type songs were kind of happening 98, 99, 2000 pitches like that, some type of ordeals, but just kind of within a more type fashion like southern hip hop as that was starting to pop off in a popular sense. So yeah, Master P was one of those type folks that helped popularize, get southern hip hop more within like the more commercial type aspects of the forefront. It's kind of the ordeal that a good spill of these folks started to particularly do that, and this is one of those type of songs that helped crest around that particular time. At least kind of before folks like Outkast and Ludacris started to get towards it more full bound within those pitches. So it's just some good type fare, just like some prior type stuff that kind of happened within those tones, just as things started to graft away from like the Tupac and Biggie type fare. So excellent type aspects to that. Then Ghetto Rain's I would say more or less Ghetto Rain's the second single, but it might be the 3rd single after It Ain't My Fault Part 2. I'm going to talk about Ghetto Rain first. Ghetto Rain's like a good offshoot of I Miss My Homies from like the Ghetto D days of Masterpiece and those type pitches. It's like a rainy but summery kind of day commerce kind of get. get here. Just a wet out, kind of hot June or July day. Some of those type pitches within formats as far as those pitches going to happen. Just one of those type ones in a keep your head up type fashion. So those type products of like Tupac type fare, just excellent type product. The way Master P would crank out some of these type ones in the continued stellar type sense. This is just good for some thug life as far as those pitch can have. So just to miss the aspects of just these 1, 2, 3 type punches within these aspects as far as these tones going to happen. If you like the strengths of Master P when you think of albums like Ghetto D and his 1998 double album, some of those type pitches, the further type format of getting towards some of these type products. He basically goes on and continues those strengths. So this is now, like I was saying, Master P's on at least 2 or 3 songs on here, and this is Ghetto Rain's particularly one of these type ones where he's on. So it's just excellent type aspects of just getting a further taste, like the aspect of like a song like I Miss My Homies, which is one of his larger songs around this time. So excellent type ordeal. Then It Ain't My Fault Part 2 is a real nice secret gem within these aspects. Now it's just within pitch. This is back when Mystical kind of had the Midas touch, and just his rampant kind of energy was just that infectious within those pitches as far as those pairs can happen. So he is on this song, and it's not to say full bound that he's show stealing, but it's just the excellent conduct that he does an excellent job on here. So it's just pitch as far as saying, but It Ain't My Fault Part 2 is like It Ain't My Fault Part 2 is like a rowdy and raucous kind of nightclub pound to kind of get here within these aspects. This hyper and extensive kind of boil over as far as this pitch kind of goes. So within the pitch, this album does have some club moments on here, but within the full bound kind of viciousness, it's kind of the product as things were kind of shifting away from like the Hypnotized and some of those type of songs, Mo Money, Mo Problems, Hypnotized type sound pitches like that. It's kind of the ordeal as far as just getting towards like the product that this was still a little bit right before Eminem was coming out. Some of these type of folks that were starting to kind of get towards the aspect of how things were getting ready to be within these aspects, and this was kind of before Dr. Dre's 2001 album as well. So it's kind of the pitch as far as saying there weren't a good ton of solitary club bops to kind of go by around these particular pitches as far as these pairs go, but this is a good nice one within some of these type of ordeals of just grafting past like the days of Hypnotized and California Love, some of those type aspects within the pitch behind it, some of those type of ordeals just within pitch, and songs like Get At Me Dog by DMX, some of those type ones within aspects of just good type of ordeals, but just excellent type of appeal. Hypnotized by Biggie, California Love by Tupac, some of these type aspects. But yeah, I recommend every song off this album with the exception of All Because of You. The pitch behind it, the reason why I didn't appreciate this song is because it's just basically just like a boombox kind of beat as far as this pitch can happen. Not to say boombox, but just kind of beatboxing pitches like that, which was just kind of, this was a cruddy type production that just didn't really fit the rest of the album as far as these pitches can happen. I think it was a simplistic one on purpose, but just the ordeal behind it was just not that catchy within those tones. But that's really the only dud on here as far as these albums going to happen. So simple enough, 10 out of 10 this album gets. There are some pretty vicious ones on here, pitches like that. Like I do feel like a good combo with It Ain't My Fault Part 2 is You Know What We Bout. It's like, yeah, it's a good 1-2 punch combo with Ain't My Fault Part 2. Like I was saying, good concepts for that. Just like a woozy but graceful kind of song within these pitches. Just an overall dope type one. So just the product as far as those fares. There are some strange kind of piano beats on here that kind of have the product as something that's kind of graceful within the sense that has some straightforwardness about it, but just kind of has like the rowdiness of not wanting to sit still, kind of like something where you would be at like some place where you have to be in like a suit or something like that, but you're really not in the mood for those sorts of things. For those pitch kind of have just the composition of wanting to kind of crank loose and kind of just ditch that particular vibe about it. So it has like relative composition about it within that standard type fare, like day shift pitches like that, but this is a woozy type one that has some smokes in your system, so those type products within the pitch as far as those tones going to happen. There are some radio grabs on here as well, like End of the Road's a real nice one. It's like a nice personal kind of thug pain, I'd say, within these aspects here. This harnesses Tupac, some day dredge moments, I'd say, within the aspects of it here. Good type tones for some of these, just some good malaise. So a couple of these feature like an R&B group called Sons of Funk as far as these pitches kind of have them. These are just some nice ones for like some further radio grab type moments. It's just a good series of these to kind of have the aspects. So this does have some radio appeal within these aspects as far as like the above ground type moments. It kind of has the aspect. I mean, it's just a good cousin of something to pick up once you know Master P like the back of your hand as far as these pitch come. This is further type product within these ordeals. This kind of has the pitch of delivering upon some of these, and just has some good commercial type bite within these aspects as far as these tones going to go. No one like that is I Want to Be With You. This is like a good malaise, kind of sugary radio grab to kind of get within the aspects of it here. Just a nice Master P and Tupac kind of aesthetic about this one. Some pitches like that. Just an overall lit type one. Yeah, but this summer fried type fashion and an evening type sense as far as this physical album goes along pretty well with Ghetto Rain, Somebody Like Me within these pitches, but just more within the aspect of this more kind of sugar, some more sugar sweet pitches like that. So good type ordeals. No Limits, a nice one as well within these pitches, like a neighborhood kind of day ruffle to kind of get within the tones behind it. Just a Paradise kind of rile up within the aspects. It's more homebound is what I mean by that within these pitches. After like a typical kind of Muzak kind of conduct, some of these type fares, it's a great song to get crunk to. There are a series of songs off this album that kind of have like the fair or dislike, the aspect of kind of wanting to break free and just get done with like the particular conduct, like the standard dredge and like the usual kind of conduct as far as these pitches can have. And it's just a good aspect because that's definitely a vibe that kind of has the aspect as far as saying, all right, kind of middle fingers up towards like the standard commitment and this standard day commitments and routine as far as these pitches can happen just within the ordeal as far as the aspects going to go. Not so much within the typical type complaint of like the frustration, like post grunge where fair about No Limits. It's not so much amidst like the personal kind of usual post grunge kind of dredge of like works a bitch, some of those type formats, but just kind of more amidst the format as far as saying some of those type fairs as far as like just needing to break free, just miss the aspect of just box of beer when you get home, some of those type aspects, just figuring out the next move within some of these type pitches, just like the product of just getting the homies, getting the rile up kind of going within these aspects. So some songs like this song here, some of these type products, Mr. 99's like that, Southside Niggas is definitely like that, some of these type pitches, I'd say. Some ones like Put It On Something, some of these type ones. There's another one on here I'm trying to think of within these aspects. I think it's like This Is For My, so some of these type ones kind of have those fairs. It's definitely, it's very much like it's a welcome type energy within these aspects as far. The commotion is definitely very affable and welcome as far as these pitch kind of, so just within the pitch as far as saying, but Mr. 99 is a quality one as well. It's like a dreary and stuck kind of day socialized kind of get here within the product. Just some neighborhood kind of errand run pitches like that, just pawn shops and gift shops, zones type fairs, just amidst like the socialized of this day type product as far as the pitches kind of happen, just picking up something that you need, getting like a few DVDs or pitches like that within those ordeals as far as like the aspect of the goings around pitches like that. Basic kind of gabbing barter as far as those pitches can happen, just amidst like the day fair within the just stone type sense pitches like that. Another nice one within these fairs is if it don't make money, this is like a scattered and in between kind of movements kind of get within the products of it here, just get collected within pitches like that. Smoke one definitely within some of these type fairs. It's a good song to chirp folks. Great song to chirp folks as far as those pitches kind of happen. So just to miss the fair as far as getting towards the product of it. It's kind of some extra time within some of these type pitches, but it's just kind of the product of just kind of trying to get gathered and figured out the next move as far as these pitches kind of happen. Just to miss the fair or dislike usual type fair or dislike busy shift kind of work day as far as these pitches kind of happen just within the tones. Good type fairs. We Won't Stop's a quality one within some of these type aspects, as well as like a dope twinkling kind of night shift creep around to kind of get within the products of it here. Just grab some supplies, pitches like that, kind of map out things as far as these fairs going to happen. So dismiss the pitch as far as saying this is more type 1 amidst something that feels more familiar with like Ghetto D by Masterpiece on these type products. Now there are a good several of these songs that kind of have those products. It's just an excellent offshoot in a more ground level type sense as far as these pitches kind of go. But it's just the products as far as saying this is a particular one, a little bit more amidst like the aspect of more so late shift type product, more so than at like 4:30, 5:30, 6:30 pitches like that as far as those tones can have. So excellent within these pitches. Put It On Something's a nice one as well within these appeals. This is like a nice glimmering kind of day bass guitar kind of groove within the aspects of it, and neighborhood jaunt some of these type pitches around as far as these pitches kind of having just a good ride out type song within these formats. So just kind of a day glaze kind of sunniness within these aspects as far as these tones can have. Just some summer sunshine within a more evening dust type sense within these pitches as far as these formats kind of have. Just excellent type of deals for like a good simple kind of cruise around. Just lays in the day pitches like that. Southside Niggas is a quality one as well as like a jonesing and getting hype kind of moments kind of get within the aspects here. It's kind of like Make 'Em Say by Masterpiece on that product, saying pretty similar aesthetic to that within those pitches. That was still a Redhot song around this time in early 1999. It's kind of some house party prime as far as these pitches can have. So this is a good nice one for some of these type of ordeals. Now kind of within the pitch as far as talking about like Red Cup type music, some of those type products within, I feel like a lot of these kind of day glimmer type songs with an aspect like lazy kind of cruise arounds and just the aspect of kind of neighborhood kind of treks pitches like that and some pawn shop runs, some type of ordeals are kind of mixed in within like the fair. You do get like night venue and house party type songs, but they're kind of more sprinkled in within the aspects as more as like more than like the full bound designation of it. But I would definitely say that Southside Niggas is one of those type ones where it's just kind of missed the pitch where the homies are all there, pitches like that, just kind of like, hey, things are good, but kind of the product of just getting primed for like further type products. Probably more this early bird type numbers for these sorts of pitches more so than that at like the crest of the night at like 1 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night pitches like that was just, it's a good rile up within those pitches. Get It Up with Snoop Dogg's a quality one as well within these aspects here. This is the lone song that Snoop Dogg is on, but this is a banging type one. It's the last song you hear on this album with some excellent type pitches. It's like a dazed and late day kind of sunny cruise around to kind of get. Pretty similar to Put It On Something, some of these type ones, but just a little bit more kind of Cali bound pitches like that. It's like a good southern G-funk kind of meld, I'd say, within these aspects here. It just definitely feels like something Snoop Dogg would have done on like the Dogfather or Doggy Style, just with the more southern fried typeness about it. Definitely some swishers pitches like that nearby, some side tones, just good for shebangs pitches like that. So it's another good house party type one within these aspects. I feel like some of these type ones, Somebody Like Me, Get It Up, South Side Nigga, some of these type ones. This Is For My, some of these type pitches do have the format like these particular moments for like some tear up. I don't think I've talked about This Is For My either as far as these pitches kind of happen. This Is For My is like a jittery kind of late day composition kind of get here, so it kind of has like that particular fair just kind of being wired, but just kind of missed the aspect of still having like relative kind of composition about it. It's like fresh off work shift, needing a cold beer, some of those type pitches just definitely need some lax as far as those pitch counts. So just the wire type one where you just probably need to sit down and let the day vent out a little bit within those pitches as far as those formats can happen. There's just some ones on here that kind of have that rile up within a pitch, and just kind of some jittery type aspects. Not to say full bound schizo, but kind of within that relative type variety within the pitch as far as saying just kind of the way that Old Dirty Bastard and Mac Dre would kind of get within those tones as far as those pitch kind of, but it's just a good type product as far as those tones going to go. So just, yeah, definitely toss a fellow a good cold beer, some of those type pitches, just get towards the lax as far as those pitches going to happen. It's another nice one on this album in terms of personal type senses. It's going around outside. It's like a Redhot kind of summer pop rap dredge. Kind of get within the tones behind it here. Just a radio breakthrough, I would definitely say. Just some Thug Pain definitely about this song. It's a pretty hot type one. Another nice commercial grab within some of these type pitches within it. So it just has these particular ones. This actually probably more or less has maybe a couple more commercial grab type moments than Ghetto D did within some of the pitches. Now, obviously, it's within the aspect that Ghetto D was the more revolutionary type one, but this is just the pitch for us, and that this has some good moments on here, even if seemingly Master P had more star power around this particular time. So I'd say star power in terms of quality, but it's just the pitches for us, and it's just the aspect that he was it's just seen as if he was under his wing as far as his pitch count, but it's not to say that full bounce is pitch as far as in that particular conduct. But I look after it. I don't know if I talked about the day I was made either within these pitches. This is a nice one. It's like a gusty and good day brush. Kind of get within the aspects of it here. Just a sombering kind of early autumn type music kind of have within these products. Feels like something Tupac would have done within the aspect of this something. Like a good kind of September, October kind of brush pitches like that. Pretty similar to like a song like I Ain't Mad at Ya, but just pretty similar to like a song like I Ain't Mad at Ya, but just more within a pitch of like a decent kind of Dracula-like type candor about it within the aspect. Just like some laments. This is like some nice lamenting as far as those pitches kind of go. Mild kind of haunting feel about it within these pitches as far as what's going to happen. I think that might be the last one of ones I haven't talked about on here. I'm not sure if I talked about It Takes More, but It Takes More is a nice one as well. As It Takes More is like a riled, kind of good awake, kind of stock ride out in like a typical kind of Master P and mystical type fashion. I'd say here just some heat as far as those pairs going to go. So It Takes More is just a good, nice one to kind of get crunk to as far as these pitches kind of happen. Just figure out the map out. It's kind of a more passive type one of like a song like Ambitions as derided by Tupac, some of these type products within the fair is just something. It's like, okay, we're getting ready to ride out within the next few moments. Pitches like that, just kind of the fair of like kind of getting pumped, some of those type pitches with the aspect, just getting stoked, some of these type aspects within these tones as far as these pitches going to go. I think that about takes care of it within these aspects as far as these tones can have within the songs that I recommend on here and pitches like that. So yeah, I think I about talked about all these. So I would say this album gets a 10 out of 10. The social score, I'm going to go ahead and give the social score of this album like a 9.75 out of 10, because just the pitch as far as saying that this is a quality album within these pitches. It's just kind of the format of just questioning the severe degree that this was given a chance. This did hit number one on the Billboard 200, the top selling albums, pitches like that as far as this press album, so it was a big deal. It went platinum, some of those pitches, but the singles just did not really reach the full bound kind of Billboard 100 type appeal, so it's kind of the pitch. Definitely has the excellent affiliation pitches like that, some of these type of ordeals. It's not to say that Silkk the Shocker does not have like further type product as far as like the composition and making good songs. It's kind of the pitch that in terms of like the hits that have like the casual full bound kind of appeals, just more within the aspect of it just kind of being a cousin of those particular styles. This is just like a good neighbor of like something of like Master P and Snoop Dogg and Mystical around that time. It's not to say it's bad within these pitches, it's kind of fair that this lacks like a huge kind of gigantic commercial smash, but it does have these moments on here. Like I said, there's some ones on here like It's Going Around Outside, I Want to Be With You, End of the Road, Ghetto Rain, Somebody Like Me. Within these pitches there are some pretty large grabs with some excellent R&B flavored hooks, pitches like that, and pop hooks on here as far as these pitches can go within the aspect. Just some good fares. There's some Thug Life kind of pain on here, similar to Tupac, Master P, between like 95 to 98 pitches like that. Some type of ordeals, some Summer Shine within those aspects, some Summer Ordeals, some Pawn Shop kind of noise, just some Neighborhood John's pitches like that with some fares are probably picking up like Taco Bell, Arby's, some of these type products within the tones behind it. Neighborhood compositions and good rilers for like some house party products thrown in within these pitches. So it does have those appeals on here. It's not a square type album within pitch. It has the fair. It's just kind of more low key within the sense as to the presentation behind it. So say 9.75 social. So in terms of future, like Silkk the Shocker has not been around since like 2010. He might have put out an album. I think he put out like an album like 2018 or 2024, some of those type pitches. But for the most part, the majority of his heyday was kind of between like the mid 90s to about the early 2000s or mid 2000s pitches like that. So it's within those ordeals. But this is a classic here. Definitely excellent composition. I'm going to get to some further type products. Some of these get back to some more masterpiece and folks like that. Get to some more No Limit. Get to some more mystical folks like that within these ordeals. But this is a low key type classic pitches like that. Has some good summer shine pitches like that. Some of those good neighborhood type ordeals and thug life kind of glaze pitches like that. I'd say good type products.